Come on in, Sean Spicer, America First Action Senior Advisor and Spokesman. Sean, it looked by that just one sentence, that's part of that speech, Joe Biden is going even further to the left, isn't he? That's what it looks like.
Yeah, I think there's really two things going on here. One is from a general election standpoint. Trump won Iowa by 10 points. Those 6 electoral votes are going to be crucial to him winning re-election. I think what he's done policy-wise puts him in strong position to build on what he did last time. He won by just about 150,000 votes, and I think we're well on pace to exceed that. Then you've also got this Iowa caucus that's going on where Biden has to do well. The interesting thing about this is that when you look at last cycle, Bernie Sanders did very well in the caucuses and Hillary Clinton did well in the primaries. Biden knows that this is going to be an early test of his strength. The last caucus was the closest in history. Hillary Clinton won by 0.2 of a percent point, 49.8% to 49.6. The problem that Biden has is not the 23 other folks. I believe that Bernie Sanders is going to continue to pose the greatest threat to him in these caucus states. And if he suffers a big loss early on, that's going to call into question his sustainability going forward. So he's got to inch further and further to the left on this stuff to play strong in this Iowa caucus.
Do you think that Biden will be the Democrat nominee? I've got my doubts because there's, 18 months to go, long campaign, brutal campaigning to be done. I'm not sure he lasts all the way through. What do you say?
I think it's a good question. He clearly right now has the front runner status. But going back to what I said a moment ago, Stuart, here's where Biden suffers. When you look at the rules by which the Democrats are playing by, it actually favors Sanders. And here's why. You've got 23 folks carving up delegates in primary states, right? It's much easier to get a delegate in the Democratic system than it is in the Republican system. Many of the Republican early states are winner take all, whether it's caucus or primary. In the Democratic system, they give out many more participation trophies. They hand out delegates basically for showing up. That means that Sanders, who plays better in the caucuses, has an earlier opportunity to pull away from the field and rack up delegates in these caucuses, while Biden and the other 28 people play in the primaries to try to divvy up their pie. So while Biden might be ahead in the polls and have a substantial lead overall, I think when you actually get down to the math of how delegates are awarded, I actually think Sanders has the edge early on.
Yeah. Look, it's going to be a very interesting contrast in styles today. Both the president and Joe Biden are there. The president's going in after a win on Mexico and a great speech on D-Day. And Joe Biden's going in looking over his shoulder to the left that's coming on strong. Real contrast in styles.
Absolutely. Look, I think the difference between last cycle and this is last cycle, it was a theoretical proposition. It was, here are what we think these two candidates are going to talk about, whether it's Hillary Clinton or Donald Trump. Trump now enters this cycle with a record of achievement, especially for our farmers and ranchers. When it comes to standing up for China, when it comes to renegotiating the USMCA, when it comes to defending the U.S.'s manufacturing base, all of those things are important to Iowa workers, is going to be crucial for him. He is one big, the strength of the economy, the ability to stand up against unfair trade practices is something that Iowans have been fighting for decades. And this president's going into Iowa with a solid record to grow on.
Got it. Sean Spicer, come back soon. We'll see you again, we hope. Thank you very much, Sean. Good stuff.